Happy Monday. Thank you for joining me for this week's Weekly Wisdom. Now, this is a continuation about life after the pandemic. As we're shifting into what this new world looks like, we're finding that we're not the same as who we were when we went into it. And what we're going to talk about this week is being in social situations. Now, I know we've covered introversion and all of that, but I'm not talking about how you get your energy. I'm just talking about your comfort level in large groups of people. So I know now whenever I go into conferences, it feels weird not having a mask on. When I'm on a plane, it feels weird not having a mask on. If the plane is full, I still put the mask on because it gives me comfort. When I'm in a large group of people now, if somebody touches me, I'm hyper aware. It just like bumps into my shoulder. I'm hyper aware of how close they are. And so I'm having to kind of school my face. Y'all know I have an RBF, a resting boss face. I got to school the face because it is not that person. I'm not angry with that person. It's just my anxiety levels are a little bit higher in social situations than they have in the past. There are thoughts that are going through my head, like, do I need a mask? What do I need to do? And whenever I go sit down at a restaurant, it always feels a little bit awkward. I'll be right back. I'm going to go wash my hands, right? So it's these changes that have occurred that now as we're coming out of it, making the determination, do I want to go without a mask or do I want to wear a mask? What's comfortable for me? And then also adapting to those around. If I'm on a full flight, generally I have my mask on. But if I don't and I notice the person next to me has their mask on, I put my mask on to be polite to them. So it's just finding that comfort level. Where are you at in social situations? But if you have found that you haven't been out a whole lot in large groups of people, plan on your first time it being a little bit stressful. Plan on it being a little bit uncomfortable. It's a safe way to go into it to where if you're not stressed, if you're like, this is my jam, I've missed large groups of people, then you're good to go. But if you are a little bit stressed, you'll be prepared for it going into it. Now I know the world is looking different than it did 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, and it's okay. Give yourself grace. Give your employees grace. As we figure out what this new world looks like together, there's going to be some missteps and there's going to be some awkwardness and some uncomfortableness. And that's okay because we're going to get through it together. Now next week we're going to wrap up the Life After the Pandemic series. If you have something that you want to cover, go ahead and drop it down into the comments. Y'all know how I roll. If a good suggestion comes through, then we will absolutely roll that into week 5. But right now, planning on ending this with week 4. And you'll have to stay tuned next week to hear what it's about. Thank you again for joining me for this week's Weekly Wisdom. Don't forget, as always, you got this. I look forward to seeing you next week.